Hi, how are you? Welcome back to Togetherness Media. I'm Zahira, and today we're going to be talking about self-discipline. So, I know I've kind of been yesterday talking about how understanding yourself helps you find to understand your success. But today we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. I think right now, because of everything that's going on with COVID-19 and us being stuck in our house, this is a perfect time to kind of go through a series of just ways that we can help to develop more self-discipline, more development skills, more understanding yourself. So again, you can really unlock your full potential. So I want to talk to you about some of the experiences and things that I've went through to help with gaining more responsibility and learning more self-discipline. Um, for example, when I was younger, I used to have a really hard time waking up in the morning. I would always set my alarm, say I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. I would set it for 7, 7:15, 7:30. And sometimes I still have that problem today. I'll still do that. But that was something that I had to kind of work on, is waking up on time. Another thing that I, struggled with was if I had to study, with just staying consistent with studying and preparing everything on time and getting everything together. But when I kept on a pattern of thinking that I could take shortcuts with doing things, or waking up a little bit later, or maybe not studying as much as well for an exam or test, I realized that after I would wake up, I wouldn't feel that great. Or if I didn't do as well as I could have on a project or a test, I didn't feel good with myself. I didn't feel happy or 100% confident with myself. So what I want to get into is, since we are stuck in the house, I want to introduce 8 examples of self-discipline, things that you can do, just small things that you can do every single day to help yourself build that consistency and build that discipline. So we're going to go through 8 of them. If you want, write them down, maybe mark which one is least, that you already do, and the most that you would have to work on. So number 1, wake up on time. That's something that I have been working on, and I'm getting better with it, but I've been working on it. Number 2, act respectful towards others. 3, eat healthy. 4, exercise daily. 5, meet your deadlines. 6, avoid temptation. 7, follow through. Follow through with everything that you do, even if it's a small task, if it's getting something done in the house, or if it's doing something for work, or it's working out. You say to yourself, hey, I'm going to work out today 30 minutes. Then you're going to work out 30 minutes. You're not going to work out 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You're going to stay consistent, and you're going to work out for that 30 minutes. The last one is create good habits. So I really like the order that I kind of put those in. I actually got that too from looking, just kind of scrolling through Instagram, and I saw a picture, and it said 8 daily habits that you can do to gain that self-discipline. So I think that was a really perfect order. For me, I related to it really well, because if you think about it, those are just little small habits, things that you do to build that routine. And in the long run, it really does help you get consistent with yourself, with your habits, getting more disciplined. I feel like we always kind of run into, in our lives, a little bit of a point of just not being consistent with ourselves or what we're doing. I personally experienced that a lot when I was in college. I would be studying and working and trying to work out and trying to manage all of these different aspects in my life. And then I realized, I'm skipping out and kind of missing out on, waking up in the morning, making sure I make my bed, which for me, I do that every morning. For some reason, I can't leave the house or do anything else until I make my bed. So that's something that's really important to me, that I really like to, focus on the small things really do matter. When I find myself feeling a little bit lost or just kind of out of like my routine and maybe slacking a little bit, what I'll do is every night I like to just write about my day, just reflect about, everything like about that day, what I liked, what were my ups, what were my downs, what were my whys, why did I do what I did today, reflect on work, just personal things in my life. And I feel like whenever I do that every night, it just helps to refresh my mind and allow me to get myself on a really good track. So the next morning, I actually mentally feel really refreshed and I feel really clear with my thoughts. And then I'm able to, to just do those little things and be able to build up that routine, which I think is really important. I feel like when we sometimes go just through the motions of everything in our life, we, like I was saying yesterday in my talk, we do tend to just lose that touch with ourselves. So being able to have that self-discipline, you're not only learning to be consistent with yourself, but now you're going to be consistent in every other aspect of your life, personal, work, friendships, sports, working out, whatever it is that you put your mind to now, when you go out into the world, you're going to be able to give 100% and nothing less than that. If anything, 100% or more, once you're able to have that self-discipline with yourself. So what I want you guys to watch is we're going to show you a little video. It is called Focus Your Mind. It is again by Jay Shetty. He does a really great job at explaining the purpose of focusing your mind and, the why to it and the strengths to it and the benefits and why it's so important to really get yourself on the right track with everything in your life. So we're going to take you to that video right now.
So from a monk's perspective, the greatest power is to be self-controlled, to be able to train the mind and energy to focus it exactly where you want it and when you want it to be. You are completely detached and undeterred from external ups and downs. You're able to navigate anything that seems tough, challenging, fun, excitement with the same amount of being equipoised and balanced in equanimity, without being too excited in pleasure or being too depressed in pain. But knowing how to navigate every situation, to me, that's great strength and great power. There's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita that says that detachment is not that you own nothing. Detachment is that nothing owns you. And I love it, because to me, that summarizes detachment in a way that it's not usually explained. Usually people see detachment as being away from everything. Actually, the greatest detachment is being close to everything and not letting it consume and own you. And that's real power, that's real strength. How many people do we know that have had fame and then that fame has ruined them? So for me, that definition of detachment is possible to practice even in the real world, rather than saying, oh, I'm just gonna have a really simple life, I'm just gonna have nothing in life. Being able to overcome ego, being able to overcome envy, being able to overcome jealousy, being able to overcome the negative of competitive state. There's a positive competitive state and there's a negative competitive state. Today, when people are looking on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, all you're looking at is, oh, she got that many likes, or he got that many likes, she got engaged, or he got married, or, oh my God, look at her body, or look at that. And it's like, that stuff's destroying us inside. Envy, jealousy, ego, greed. To be able to have enough clarity to purify yourself of those things is gonna alleviate the biggest anxieties and depressions of our time and mental health problems. And we know that. We know that because all the mental health research today suggests that things like isolation, overexposure, we now can have more pain consumption in one day because of what we're exposed to than the pain we would have had in a lifetime. That's huge. Like that's ridiculous to think that in one day, because of the media, news, and social media, we consume more negative than we did in a lifetime. for me, being able to have time, energy, and clarity to focus on self-purification, that is the best thing about being a monk. Because you have that time, reflection, and a process, and an environment that only allows you to become more purified of those things.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That was one of my favorite videos that I've listened to. It was just super straight to the point, really understanding. And I don't know if you guys have known this about Jay Shetty, but before he was a monk, he actually was going through kind of his own spiritual journey with himself. And when he went to become a monk, they said to him that he wasn't going to be able to do it. And he went to school, and that is when he was in school to be a monk, that is where he learned his greatest lessons for self-discipline and what self-discipline truly meant to him and what it really means. And I think when in the video, when he was saying how the greatest power that you have is not being detached, but being close to the things that people do try to detach from, because that's truly the element of you learning self-discipline and understanding, okay, I'm not gonna go on my phone. Say I have to study for a test. I'm not gonna look at my phone for 3 hours. The phone is right next to you. You being able to tell and train your mind that, okay, I'm not going to go touch my phone for 3 hours. I need to dedicate my time to studying, or I need to dedicate time to working on a project for work, a presentation, or I need to not touch my phone and dedicate time with my family. That is so important. You have what is distracting you right next to you, but you're training your mind and you're developing that discipline by not touching it, by telling yourself, no, I'm not going to touch it till I'm done. So I think that's a really big takeaway. I feel like, especially now during our times, and even in my generation, people in their 20s and a little bit younger, we do have that social media, and people are always on it, always checking their phones, always on different apps like TikTok, Instagram. And don't get me wrong, I go on Instagram, I have used TikTok, but I know with myself when I'm reaching that limit of, okay, Zahira, you need to get off the phone, you need to have some time for yourself, or you need to focus on this. And for me, I am still learning those 8 habits of self-discipline, but it always starts out with just doing those small things. If you can think to yourself right now, okay, what can I work on with myself to allow myself to have a greater self-discipline? What is my most positive thing that I do right now that shows me that I can be disciplined and I can focus on what I'm doing and be in the moment of that? Then go all the way onto the other end of the scale and think about the negative thing that right now you keep doing, or something that you really need to improve on, and reflect on the thing that you do, the habit, or just something that you do every day for yourself, or something that's part of your life. Think about, why are you so good at it? Why are you so good at being disciplined at it? Take your advice, take your knowledge of that positive, that why you do that, and then apply it to what you're struggling with, and use that and fuel that as your outlet and your energy to work on that and to make that negative turn into a positive. There's always room to learn and focus your mind. I'm still learning. Everyone is still learning, but you have to want to learn. That's the biggest thing. Wanting to learn how you can better yourself, how you can self-discipline, how you can focus your mind. Get in touch with yourself. Personally, I'll share with you currently with one of my positives and one of my negatives. One of my positives is that I'm really into fitness. I love to work out. So every day I tell myself, okay, Zahira, you're going to do this workout for 30 minutes. You're going to work out legs. You're going to work out arms. One of my negatives that I have a problem with still, and I'm really trying to work on it and get better with it, is sometimes I do have a little bit of procrastination, or I get distracted very easily with certain things, or I want to do one thing and not finish it and move on to the next. And what really made me understand, okay, and say to myself, I need to stop doing that, because when I do that, I don't feel good jumping from thing to thing, and I can't truly focus my mind on what the task is at hand that I really want to accomplish. So that is why when you can get yourself into those 8 habits of discipline, like waking up and making your bed every day, or just acting respectful towards someone else, or doing something in your community or with your family to give back, or writing, dissect what you're doing and dissect with what you're not doing, and figure out how you can align yourself to be the best that you want to be, because self-discipline is really the key to how you be successful. Again, I keep going back to these 3 aspects in our life: our work, our personal relationship, our passion, what we love to do. Everything will come together as long as you can get yourself to have that self-discipline, to have that knowledge, and to know, okay, I'm not going to go out today. I'm going to stay home and I'm going to work on my presentation, or I'm going to stay home with my family. Just being able to do that, you really develop your sense of also your morals, your values, knowing what you really like, what you really don't like, knowing what's not good for you, avoiding temptation, staying away from things that can kind of take you off track. And I think that for, people around my age too, and a little bit younger, we do have a lot of distractions and things that we're facing. We're young. We want to go out and do things. We want to hang out with our friends. Not to say that, people that are older, they don't want to do that either, but there is definitely a lot of pressure placed on my age category, and younger, especially younger. I see a lot of girls, I see a lot of guys, they're, on social media all the time. They make it their world. Personally, some of my cousins sometimes are on social media a lot and too much on the phone, or too much playing games. It is such a distraction. That is a form of temptation. So if we can establish those healthy habits and those little small acts, that is going to become part of you and who you are, and part of your lifestyle. And I want to share one more thing. When I was about 12 years old, I started getting more into sports, into more active. Before then, I used to always go outside and play, or watch TV or watch movies. But my mom and my dad noticed that I kind of was not being as active as I should. And at the age of 12, I started to, go to the gym with my mom. That was something that was little, that I would just go with her. I would just work out every day, do a little something, play basketball, run, swim. But at the age of 12, my mom was wiring that habit inside of me, where she made me understand working out is so important. Taking care of your body is so important. Eating clean is important. What you put in is what you get out. My dad, the same way. We would go to the park, we would ride our bikes. So from that point on to this day, I don't consider working out, for example, like a chore or something that I feel obligated to do. It's something that I want to do, because it was instilled in me at such a young age and primed every day. Go work out, go do something, go be active at least for 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. That became part of my life. So the habits that you do now are really going to set the bar for you and for your life when you get older. Is that going to become part of your lifestyle? And is it good, or is it not healthy for you? So I just want you guys to, take a minute and just kind of reflect on that, think about that, and write down, your positives, your negatives, and things that you want to gain, and things that you want to better challenge with yourself. Please comment, please give us your feedback, please let us know. I would love to personally hear some of your, greatest obstacles, or some of your things that you really want to improve on, or some things you're really good at. please share them with us at Togetherness, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have an awesome day. Bye.